It's starting to become very clear Joshua Bunker closed the community aspect down of Guerrilla Trading so that we couldn't see to it that justice is served when he finally did pull the plug and pull the rug out on all of the people that decided to trust Josh Bunker.
I'm Joshua Bunker from Guerrilla Trading.
I'll get rid of all of this. Look. Josh Bunker, 2019, said Falcon changed his life thanks to teaching him the Falcon strategies. And then, 2019, he starts JB Trading, and all of a sudden... What's up guys, welcome back to the KBFx channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about what really happened to Guerrilla Trading. Right, so the Guerrilla Trading, who are Guerrilla Trading? Guerrilla Trading is a forex trading education company who helped me to learn how to trade the foreign exchange. And again, like I said in my first video, very grateful for them teaching me how to trade the foreign exchange. I just want to break down the timeline for Guerrilla Trading, how it came about, where it started, what happened. So again, I'm a Guerrilla Trading student. As far as I'm concerned, you know, Josh was a good character as well as Dave. Until some new things came to light. So Guerrilla Trading itself, on the HMRC website, Guerrilla Trading Limited, started incorporated on the 4th of March 2020. So Guerrilla Trading Limited started on the 4th of March 2020. I didn't end up joining them until a couple of years down the line. In 2022 is when I joined Guerrilla Trading, because I was seeing some of their students were succeeding on the top of the FTMO leaderboard, one of them being Griff Trades, good friend of the channel. And seeing these students succeed through Guerrilla Trading is what reeled me in. And when I got on the website, there was some quite outlandish claims, Josh making 30% every month uncompounded, 90% every month compounded. Josh was frequently making claims that he was making 400% a year, pre-bazooka. So, you know, those claims from the get-go reeled me in. Seeing his students succeed, seeing the interviews, Holly on the FTMO YouTube page doing an interview. So seeing people succeed, Daz Smith as well, another funded trader through Guerrilla Trading. This is what reeled me into Guerrilla Trading, made me want to learn through them. So I joined Guerrilla Trading in 2022, and then that's when Josh and Dave got the money off me, gave me loads of content, and then I never heard of them ever again, right? So once I joined Guerrilla Trading, I did find it very helpful, the content very helpful, very educational, and the community itself, an amazing community that they had helped build. The community, obviously not being Josh and Dave, but everyone in Guerrilla Trading, amazing people, lovely people. You know, I'm really grateful to the people that I've met through Guerrilla Trading. My only issue being, you know, that Josh and Dave decided to close the company so abruptly and leave so many people in the dark. That's the only issue. So I just want to go into the timeline aspect of Guerrilla Trading. So they started in 2020, and Guerrilla Trading Limited, and also Guerrilla Trading Management started, which I only recently found out that there was another Guerrilla company, right? I only found this out because they had liquidated, and that caused me to just dig in a little deeper, because I was just very concerned and very curious as to, you know, what happened, what went wrong, why has the community just been ditched, why has so many people had their life savings stolen from them and now have no content to watch. So this, for me, has struck a chord in me. I've got strong morals, I've got strong values. As someone who learned through them, all I want to do is help those affected. It's a shame Josh and Dave don't feel the same way. Anyway, so like I say, I've dug in a little deeper, right? So I go on the HMRC website, the UK government website, which is amazing because all of it is public document. If we weren't in the UK, this wouldn't be public document, right? So what I can do is go on this HMRC website, click on the people in Guerrilla Trading, see Joshua Bunker, I click on his name, And like I say, there's another company called Guerrilla Management Limited, which started a month later, April 2020. And then this was labelled as the education company. And the other one was labelled as the management company. So Guerrilla Trading Limited, the education company, was labelled as the management company, and then Guerrilla Management has been labelled as the education company. So what they would do is they would get money through Guerrilla Trading Limited and then withdraw it through Guerrilla Management Limited, which is a bit, you know, it's not illegal to have a parent company and withdrawing money through that. It's just, you know, obviously only now looking back on things I can see that something was awry around this area, right? So we can see in the filing history of the Guerrilla Management Limited that the wheels were in motion for liquidation of the parent company in April 2024. So we can see that very early on into 2024 that Guerrilla Management have now decided to shut up shop. And you know, if the parent company is shutting up shop, you can assume the other companies are going to move it, right? So Guerrilla Management then registers an office change so that in September 2024, so that they're no longer receiving letters from the government, and it goes straight to the accountancy firm to deal with the liquidation. So we can see that since April he filed for liquidation, and then in September they were getting everything in motion so that he could fully shut up shop. And then again, we can go on to Guerrilla Trading Limited and also see that in the same time, September, he changed the office so that Guerrilla Trading Limited was actually no longer receiving letters from the government, and it was going straight to the accountancy firm again to deal with the liquidation. So even if you want to say, all right, they chose to shut up shop of Guerrilla Management, what's wrong with that? All right, whatever. They're sweet, innocent guys, right? They just decided to rug pull everyone out of the goodness of their heart. We can see that they've had the wheels in motion to shut up shop with Guerrilla Trading Limited since 3rd of September 2024, when they changed the office so that the liquidation papers wouldn't be sent to them but the accountancy firm. And then January 2025, boom, everything goes down, everything goes black. Guerrilla Trading website shuts down, Guerrilla Trading Instagram goes down, Guerrilla Trading YouTube channel goes down. Everyone is left in the dark, everyone's left in the blue, no one knows what happened. And because Josh Bunker and Dave got rid of the community in late 2023, none of us can communicate with each other to see what's happened, to see what's gone on. So this guy has took everyone's money, done a runner, and now he's got a bunch of people left over in his community still trying to defend him, which is quite frankly appalling. All I want to do is see those affected either succeed in trading or get their money back, right? Because they've been lied to by these fellas. Anyway, I get that you're probably struggling to understand, you know, why should you listen to me? Fair enough, right? I haven't been around in the space as long as most, right? The reason why I feel so passionate about having to follow up the Guerrilla Trading situation is because so many people are still defending Josh and Dave, and we can see through public document that they've filed for liquidation in April with April 2024, with every intention of shutting up shop. And around this time is when they released the Funded Trader Pro program, which they were shilling for upwards of £15,000. What Josh would do is he'd personally get on a Zoom call. In late 2024, one of my mates got on one of these Zoom calls, and Joshua Bunker himself was the one who took the call, and he was asking them, how much money do you have in the bank? And he would basically make up a price based off of how much they had in their bank account at the time, which, you know, is incredibly disgusting, especially since he knew that he planned on shutting the company down very soon. He would basically siphon people's life savings out of them to join this company, to join his education company, knowing that he was about to shut it all down, which is very disgusting and quite frankly appalling. And I just can't morally ignore my new findings. So I understand that you're probably struggling to listen to me, right? So let's get someone with a bit more background on Josh Bunker, someone who knows a bit more about Josh Bunker's story, where Josh Bunker actually learned to trade, how did Guerrilla Trading come about, how did it all start, what went wrong. Well, fortunately, I'm joined by one of their head coaches over at FalconFX, Ibby Ansari, who's going to come on the channel and help explain to you guys the actual situation that Josh Bunker has left us all in, what he has been doing from the start, because I understand that most people are probably struggling to listen to me, right? Josh Bunker's your mentor, Dave Jason, that guy. These guys, you think they're heroes, don't you? You think that they're just wanting to help people trade, and that's all I've been hearing from the guerrilla trading community is like, oh, come on guys, let's just forget about the scam and just forgive Josh Bunker. And if he ever decides to start a new company, Giraffe Trading, and starts to advertise his brand new strategy, the Bunga Bulls making 1,000,000% APY. If Josh Bunker ever comes back around, right, to sell and shill another Forex trading course, Giraffe Trading, selling the Bunga Bulls, 1,000,000% a year, right? We all need to be there to make sure that no one ever buys from this crook ever again, right? Because I've got a good feeling that he's going to try and sell us a new course, and I feel like we can't let that happen, guys. We can't just let this get swept under the rug. We can't just let this get forgotten about. So, Ibby Ansari, fortunately, has offered to come on the channel and explain his side of things. So, very grateful for Ibby. And yeah, we'll jump on the Zoom call and I'll see you guys on there.
I joined Falcon November 2018.
To me today is to Mr. Joshua Bunker. So Josh, you was consistent right before Falcon. Inconsistency, was it kind of in the low figures, medium figures, or was you still hitting the kind of figures you're hitting now?
No, nowhere near what I'm hitting now. So I think a lot of things changed for me when I hit Falcon. Is people wouldn't really understand unless you've gone through doing a self-taught, that the amount of value from having so much structure as Falcon has is that it's just unbelievable. And I think for me, I grabbed it with both hands because I've realized that I've never had it. So for me, it was like having Christmas all over again.
So now I'm joined with Ibrahim, one of the head coaches over at FalconFX. So Ibrahim has agreed to come on the channel because he knows a bit more about Joshua Bunker's background and how guerrilla trading actually came about and the origin story behind that. He knows that a lot better than I do. As someone a lot newer to trading, I got involved in November 2022, whereas Ibrahim has been around a lot longer than I have, and he's been around since the origins of JB trading, guerrilla trading, whatever you want to call it. So he has a lot more information on it, and fortunately is agreed to come on the channel and share his side of events, which I'm very, very grateful to Ibrahim for doing that. Would you like to also introduce yourself, Ibby?
Yeah, so I've been trading the market since late 2016, and I've obviously only traded with one particular community. I was self-taught before that, so for 2 years, and then I found Falcon in 2018, traded since then, and I started off as a student. I'm now one of the coaches there, one of three. Mark's obviously the main guy, and myself and Abdu, who's based in Canada. So yeah, I've been trading quite a long time, and I'd seen your video pop up on the YouTube a couple of weeks ago, or a week or two ago, and I thought, let me have a look into this, because I didn't know anyone actually knew what happened to guerrilla trading in terms of the liquidation. I was wondering what the students are thinking. And we've got a lot of students that came over from guerrilla in the past 3 months, 6 months, who informed us about it first, and then we looked into it and it was true. And I watched your video and I thought, you know what, how many people like yourself are out there that are innocently working, putting hard-earned money forward to learn and with good intentions to trade, and have now been caught in a situation where, you know, Josh and Dave and the people who run the company haven't even informed their students of this liquidation, and people have had to find out themselves, haven't they? So
100%.
Watched through it, got in touch with you, and now we're here.
Yeah, so I was just going to add, so I actually didn't find out about the liquidation of guerrilla trading through any of the team members, even though through new information we know this has been in the works for a long time. I actually didn't find out about the liquidation of guerrilla trading until January 2025, after they deleted their Instagram, deleted their YouTube, deleted everything, so you couldn't contact them anymore. And that's when, and the only reason that I know that they even liquidated is because the website doesn't exist anymore. And then I go on the HMRC website, it says the company is liquidated. And the only reason that I even got an inkling right before the 10th of Jan was because around I want to say the 5th of January or around that time, another guerrilla trading student had put this in an unrelated Discord to guerrilla trading. Because basically, at the end of 2023, Josh Bunker actually got rid of his community. which is really interesting. So he made it so that none of us could communicate with each other anymore at the end of 2023. Unfortunately, another student, Griff Trades, had set up a Discord for us to still talk about price action analysis. So without this Discord being set up in the first place, I still wouldn't know like really anything. So I had to find out through other members through a Discord that Guerrilla Trading had nothing to do with. So that is, in itself is very interesting.
Which is disingenuous to every level. And again, I very rarely agree to come on and stuff like this. And I you know, same as yourself as well. And I know you didn't have intention to make this video in the first place until it started to get pretty bad. I never usually entertain stuff like this, but it's getting to a point. I've had so many messages, right? So many messages from people over the past 3 months, mainly throughout this process, people have found out where they've been in a position like we spoke about last time, where some of them had invested all of their savings into this bazooka course that he had, all to be now in a position where like these are real people with real lives and people who are have responsibilities.
Yeah, children to feed, a roof over,
exactly,
got to put a roof over their kid's head, and I know because I used to preach Guerrilla Trading to my friends. So my friends were in the email marketing list, right? And what would happen was one of my friends ended up getting in a Zoom call with Guerrilla Trading just to ask some questions. And what I found very interesting about this was that Joshua Bunker himself personally took this call. And again, I've been in this community since 2022. I've never spoke to this guy. He's never he's never hosted a single Zoom call. He's never, you know, checked up on his community. He's never like reached out to us. But if he didn't have your money, he would personally reach out to you, ask how much you had in your bank, and then make up the price for the FTP course based on however much you had in your bank account, upwards of £15,000 for some. So I can imagine that's left a lot of people in some dark situations, and that's why I feel a type of way about this. As much as I would love to just forget it and move on, and I do want to do that, but then some new things started to come to light that, you know, this isn't just an innocent act of something's gone wrong towards the end of 2024. Now it's starting to look like the wheels have been in motion for this for a while now. And Joshua Bunker himself, being obviously the owner of the company, the founder of the company, whatever, he would personally, which obviously he would know about, that it's in liquidation, right?
Correct.
We've seen the papers signed by himself. So he knew the company was in liquidation, and then again in late 2024 was personally taking prospect calls to ask you how much you had in your account, and then would make up a price based upon however much you could afford, which quite frankly just makes me feel sick to my stomach.
So for those of you watching now who are probably thinking, you know, the system works and all this kind of stuff, you know, it's not really that bad, get over it. Let me give you a bit of a trip down memory lane. So as I said, Falcon's been around since 2017. I can't remember when Josh joined. I think it was late 2018. He mentioned in the podcast.
2018 in the podcast, yeah.
In the podcast, he mentioned, and for those of you who don't know, this podcast Cal will share with you when you're watching this video, where he was singing praises and all sorts. But let's get to it. He was a member at Falcon, and he mentioned in this podcast he was doing fairly decent before that because he's taught himself for the past 10 years, etc. But his returns skyrocketed, right? What happened, I can tell you from first-hand experience, because I was a student there, I'd seen it firsthand. We brought him on to our conference in 2019, June, where I was still a student at this point. I was looking up to these people. And I remember he was quivering like a 14-year-old girl, like a duck. Honestly, when he was on there, he was so scared to get on stage. And we pushed him, at the team at the time, pushed him to get on stage and speak and pushed him out of his comfort zone. He was extremely grateful for it. You know, and he had a lot going for himself at that point. He was speaking well, you know, he was speaking
just
some
started
sense.
Succeeding in trading thanks to Falcon.
Yes, right? Next thing you know, I'm not kidding you, within less than a week's time, we find that members are going a little bit more quiet. And these are members who would be quite active in our community, etc. Going quiet, and he started this group called JB Trading, a separate group, which at first glance, we thought was just
on
like
Telegram,
an accountability
right?
group.
Was that on Telegram?
I believe it was on Telegram, yeah. From memory.
Okay, right, yeah.
And he started hosting these West Midlands meetups, and you'll see in our latest YouTube video, you can actually see him and Dave at the conference. This is no word of a lie, you can see it in video form. And then these West Midlands meetups started. So one of our students, she ended up attending it to see, oh, well, what is this? It's just a meetup for traders, right? Falcon traders. Turned out he's like, well, I'm starting this thing called JB, and if you don't want to be here, you might as well go. And then she came back and said, well, this is really weird what's going on. Josh is starting his own group. So this rumor started to circulate. And then when he got confronted about it, all of a sudden he's slagging Falcon off and saying all these. Yeah. So what's concerning to me is that he went from teaching himself and saying, oh, well, this wasn't really the best. So then I came to Falcon and improved my results, became this amazing trader, learned all these simple mechanics, then going ahead and slandering Falcon for it.
Yeah.
You know, this is hardcore proof you'll see in the podcast. And now, you know, we've seen through that a long time ago. We've seen through that this guy is literally top down a scam. We were getting so much dirt thrown at us. We've never stooped to the level to go back and point fingers at Josh or whatever. We thought, cool, people learn from their mistakes. It's fine. Karma will get them. And it did. Now, Kyle, and for the viewers watching, what's sad is, and I'm not concluding don't trust anyone that was ever associated with the Guerrilla Trading team. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is don't trust their judgment, because birds of a feather flock together, like for like.
100%.
If I was on the Guerrilla Trading team and I couldn't vet that, okay, there's something wrong about this person, how he runs things, these people will go on and start their own groups afterwards, the little stem-offs, and people will then go and trust them, but they're going to do the same thing in a different disguise, and they think, oh, well, this person must be different. But if they can't vet Josh and Dave, you can't trust them.
Oh, 100%. I do agree with that. And, you know, for example, the people who helped me in the Zoom calls, 3 of them were very, very young lads, right? And I can appreciate that they have been manipulated as I have. One of them was a lot older on the Guerrilla Trading team, who was a lot closer to Josh and Dave than the other lads. And I personally just can't believe that he's no longer in contact with either of them, because he was the only one in the team who seemed close to him. That is speculation, right? I know that's fine. My concern mainly is, you know, if Josh ever does resurface and he's trying to get these, because what's happening now is a lot of people are trying to defend Josh and Dave, right? So the strategy they taught works. Okay, that's fine. The strategy they taught works, therefore they cannot be scammers. Fair enough, right? You know, I thought the same thing originally, but now some new things have come to light with the fact that what Josh was teaching wasn't his strategy. What Josh was teaching, he wasn't self-taught. And the reason why that particularly is interesting is because as a Guerrilla Trading student who joined in November 2022, I was taught that Joshua himself had figured out these strategies through his own vigorous self-backtesting and studying the market since 2009. And then, thanks to the podcast recording, I now know that Joshua actually wasn't doing too well in trading until he came across Falcon.
Yeah.
So that's so interesting. That obviously that's not something I've properly thought about before, but now realizing if you were so willing to, like, why lie about having a mentor, for example? That it makes no sense. Everyone has to learn somewhere. So this from the get-go is it just points something towards his character, that like why does he feel the need to lie about learning the strategy? For example,
money.
All my friends,
money
exactly,
in the end, that's
money.
all it was about. And when you say that, people say, look, you're just being negative, you're being passive, but I'm like, okay, cool, wait, let time do its thing and let time show you. And we did, and it's very difficult to do that. And let me tell you this as well, Kyle, before you carry on there, that if someone is genuinely, as we were saying before this call, that, for lack of a better word, thick, to not prioritize taxes, not prioritize how to run clearly could not run a business, clearly had no relationships or strong relationships with student previously, and I won't mention their name, people who are on the team, coaches who are on the team, who probably couldn't get paid anymore because of that document that I shared with you, clearly demonstrated that the company had too many debts. So at this point, he probably can't take money out of the company, and he's not got any kind of fund or reserve for people on the team to pay them salaries, which, if you ask me, is terrible way to run business. Point one.
Yeah, of course.
How can you trust that person has also vetted a trading system just as good?
If he can't run a business, how can he run a trading account with 20 million?
And then he's talking about treat trading like a business, but he doesn't know how to treat a business. Which is silly.
Yeah, he doesn't even know how to manage the taxes of Guerrilla Trading. So I don't know how he's managing all these hundreds of millions he's made from trading.
No, it's probably in rupees, man. It's not going to be real money. You know, it's ridiculous. And to make everyone really understand why me and Kyle actually agreed to make this video is because, forget Josh for a minute. It's people who have good intentions. They want to trade well, but their head's lost now because they don't know where the mentors ran off to, people who promised them a future. And, you know, I've never been in that position because I've stuck with one group from the beginning, and I've been lucky enough to be in a position I've not had that happen to me. But Kyle, as we spoke about last time, you know, there's one guy I spoke to in the past, and this is a personal story, which is why I get passionate about it. Someone I knew quite well, and he basically was in a similar situation where he got rug pulled or whatever. But the difference is he put all of his life savings, he was 34 years old at the time, life savings, and his wife's savings as well, into prop firm challenges, into these extra courses, curriculums that he was being charged for, all to be ran out on, and he's not here anymore. You know, and that's a very, very difficult pill to swallow. But there are people out there like that will put their everything into trading with good intention. Yes, was it the correct decision to make? No, I would never put my life savings into anything. But when you're on a call with someone like Josh apparently was doing, and you're really selling them on this can really work for you, you can change your entire family's life, and you're selling them on it so hard to a point that they are convinced to put their entire life savings into it, and then you run off. You know,
Desperation.
It's so sickening in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is the point of this video. There are other people like that. Josh isn't the only person in the world that thinks like this. Believe me, there's a lot of inhumane people out there that are not connected to humanity, that couldn't care less whether you win, whether you fail, when you get run over by a bus tomorrow, whether you lose everything. They don't care. You know, it's a human survival instinct. Look after my kids and me, and that's it.
Yeah.
But it's sad because other people are affected by it. So that document, or that sheet of paper that you can see, clearly demonstrates it was passed on March 2024, which means they knew about it before that, right?
Yeah.
The HMRC would have come in, given them a warning. They didn't pay up their taxes or didn't set anything up correctly. Maybe offered them a payment plan. They didn't follow through, which is why they then came in and said, right, F you, we're liquidating everything, and then you can declare bankruptcy or whatever. So knowing that he hypothetically knew about this from 2021, 2022 is insane.
Yeah, it's borderline disgusting because, again, like I said to you, even if it wasn't as early as 2022, he had finalised it in 2024 when he signed the document to say, all right, we can't pay these bills, it's gotten too much. And again, around this time, late March 2024, he's officially signed it now. Everything is in the works. Guerrilla Trading is getting liquidated. It's shutting up shop. End of, right? So what did Joshua do? Did he stop selling the course? No, he tripled the price, and he continued to push it on people, saying that you could make upwards of 8,000% every single year. And the way he would word it is, so it was students backtesting results. So he wouldn't actually label it as backtesting results. He would just say, this guy has made 8,000%. This guy has made 5,000%. This guy has made 3,000%. And like me and you spoke about last time, maybe, is this was an incredibly discretional strategy where he would teach people, trade it however the heck you want. And whatever the results, like it was a liquidity sweep, right? And he would tell you trade it how you want in this case study group. And then at the end of it, obviously, a lot of people would come out with varyingly massively different results, cherry pick the best ones, put them on his website and say, look guys, all of us over here are making 8,000% every year, which is interesting because one of the Guerrilla Trading team members, someone else in the Discord, has spotted this as well, so that's great.
You know why I pulled that face when you said it? Because when I was genuinely shocked, because I didn't know this beforehand. You know, the only backbone he had to stand on when he left Falcon, and what slander he kept throwing back at us, is that we're too discretional. So that's interesting because for a long time, because I know you mentioned you weren't on social, so you wouldn't have seen it as much. But for a long time on his social presence, all he was talking about is if anyone's teaching you anything discretional and it's not mechanical at all, don't trust them. Which is really ironic because if he's now telling this to people privately that, and you've seen it's clearly discretional, and he's clearly portraying, like, look, think about it with common sense. If I'm a world-class chef and I'm making a dish, as an example, and I just mechanically make this dish, it's probably not going to taste as good. I might sit and think, you know what, based on my experience, this needs a little bit more salt here, a little bit more spice here to make it a little bit better, and the dish is going to turn out better. Discretion gets confused for guessing. If you're guessing, you don't know what you're talking about. Discretion is used by every or most profitable traders who will look at a circumstance, assess the risk, and say, based on this situation...
And based with experience.
Yeah, and based with experience, what is the best thing that I can do here? That's not guessing, that's called making sensible judgment. So 100%. His logic was always from those years of 2019 onwards, and this is exactly what you do. He'd be in our Slack, which is the equivalent of the Discord, at the time DMing all our members, and we only found out about this afterwards. DMing them, getting in their mind, and these were people, honestly, who would have been trading so much money right now on our fund. They would have been doing phenomenally well. Stealing them, and they probably don't even trade anymore.
Yeah, but they don't.
They don't even trade anymore. So think about someone's potential future that's now been ruined because of that. So this is a level of desperation, but we still stayed quiet about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Up until now, I
Yeah.
want to put a nail in the coffin on him.
Yeah, 100%, because it's just the way that this is all unfolded. It genuinely, like, a lot of people in what's left of the Guerrilla Trading community really are just saying, come on, guys, Josh Bunker and Dave, they're heroes, they're legends, they taught us how to trade with someone else's strategy, charged us for the nose for it, and never spoke to us ever again after that.
Yeah.
These guys are heroes, like, they would never do anything wrong to anyone. Just, you know, I also had that a similar viewpoint, because I was also quite well, like I say, through the education, I was taught that Josh Bunker invented everything. It's this genius mastermind. Every other trader's a scammer. It's just Josh Bunker who
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. And then my results and my trading would always lag behind Josh Bunker, because if he's not progressing, I'm not progressing.
Yeah.
And we now know, you know, if his company wasn't doing too well, and his trading probably weren't doing too well either.
Yeah.
And I can tell you for a fact, because I tried the same strategy as him, his trading wasn't doing the best towards the end of 2024. That's fine, right? We all get slow quarters. But, like, this guy is just proven himself to be a master manipulator. And I do really sympathise for those who have been hurt and affected by this guy. And I know that most of the people left over in his community that are still trading obviously aren't the ones who have been hurt and affected by his most recent debacle, right? So they're the ones defending him, quick to defend him, and saying, but he taught us a real strategy, so let's just let him get away with this scam.
Yeah.
Well, the issue is yeah, he taught us a profitable strategy. That's great. But he didn't do that out of the goodness of his heart. He did that with every intention of, you know, stealing Falcon students and putting some money in his pocket. And then obviously not giving an F about these students as soon as he's got the money off them.
Correct.
Just gives you loads of content to watch, and then leaves you to the lads in the Zoom calls, and then has nothing to do with you ever again.
You know, which sounds like a fiction story, but it's real now.
Yeah,
And people have seen it.
does,
And
yeah.
the
It
key
really
point
does.
is, Kyle, right?
And
what
people are
everyone should
still
know,
struggling, even though all the truth and the facts are there. People are
Yeah.
still struggling to believe and fathom it.
it's human nature. You know, I can tell people the sky's blue, they'll want to think it's grey or red. You know, people will believe whatever they're going to believe. You can take the horse to the water, you can't make it drink. You know, it's
100%.
part of human nature. There'll be a small selection of people that will do that, but they will continue to put themselves in this perpetuous cycle of failure. Key point I want to mention, because you reminded me of it. What I want everyone watching this to really understand, if you're in this bracket of thinking, oh, it's a profitable system, at least you taught us something that works. I get that. But as I said before, if someone's not capable enough to structure their taxes or run a business properly, you can't trust their vetting of a strategy well enough. Now, our core principles have remained the same since the beginning, 2017, right? And Mark's been trading bloody 12, 13 years before that anyway.
Yeah.
He's been trading about 17 years in total now. I've been trading coming up to 10 years now. And let me tell you something. I've traded the same method, barring when I was self-taught, for 7 years. How many years? 2018 till now. There's 7 years this April. The same exact method. So I'm more than qualified than 99% of people on YouTube or anybody watching right now, because 99% of people have swapped systems every 2 years, not stuck to one method, or they've only traded a couple of years, right? So having traded one method for 7 years, I can tell you this one thing. The principles we've traded have stayed the same. We've refined over time. We've not changed a damn thing. We've only made it better. The difference is when whoever this invented this strategy, according to Josh apparently himself, walks out.
The bunker bomb, bunker bullet, bunker bazooka.
Yes, right? Which literally is an exact variation of how we trade, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
When they walk out, now you're relying upon you having the capacity to adapt that system yourself to market conditions changing.
Well, it's hard to, because, like I say, in my head, Joshua Bunker is the mastermind behind this strategy, so I'll just have to do everything he says, basically.
Yeah. And you would trust that person to be responsible enough to say, right, look, market conditions are shifting. Some strategies, not all, will degenerate through time. How can we adapt this, not change it? You know, and with most systems out there, Kyle, right, and I've seen this millions of times, periodically they will completely change. So they will go from being a support resistance based strategy to then a supply and demand or a trend line based strategy or something, or order blocks, whatever the hell block strategy, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that when you have that situation, most traders don't have the capacity or the experience or the aptitude to change that system themselves, and then they have to suffer the mistakes financially to figure it out, where their mentor should have taught them that. You know, so all these people that are now left behind are now left in that situation where they think, all right, we've been left with a profitable system, but for how long? How long before it catches up on you that euro dollar or pound dollar might start ranging and you think, fuck, I've not dealt with these conditions before, and I've now got no one to lean on with actual experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening right now
There you go.
for everyone. I mean, everyone trading the Guerrilla Trading strategy will know that the market conditions, we had a very good July.
Yeah.
But other than July, literally, it's just been a last streak since up until now. So it's one of them, like, I'd imagine a lot of people not having someone to go to and to rationalize things with, that could have a massive effect on people. So we had a good July, 16%, and then since then we haven't really had any good setups, any good profits since then. So as an experienced trader, I know that this is all part and parcel of it. But the issue is a lot of people new to this, without people to fall back on, without mentors. Your mentors have just ran off on you. You know, you're stuck with this prop firm challenge. You don't know that market conditions change. You haven't got the experience to know that this is all a part of it. They've took your money and they've fucked off. And then additionally to that, you know, just because there are people who have been taught the strategy, just please try and put yourself in the boat, right, of someone who hasn't been taught the strategy, who Josh willingly took full price off, as much as you could afford. Josh took that off you, right, knowing that his company was about to go bust. He took all your money off you, and now, you know, we're all just he took all your money off you, and now there's no content, there's no education. So they haven't even been taught a real strategy. They haven't been taught a profitable strategy. They've just had their money taken off them,
There's
and
no
then done a
foundation
runner.
left. Zero.
Yeah,
and you know, the biggest part about this all, and I'm saying this from my own experiences now, and that people will get to see over time. So you can save yourself now. Prevention's better than cure. When you start trading more money, and I'm not talking about just prop money, when you start trading your own personal account, if you ever want to take on investor accounts and it starts to get real, right? At that point, if you've never seen more than a couple of grand in your account, and now you see $10,000, $15,000, $30,000, $40,000 profit, what's your relationship with money going to be like? One, your mentor's not taught you that because he didn't believe in trading psychology as much, because surely if you back test, you're now confident. But this is always been the funny thing about me with Josh, and we used to have these little rebuttals, right? And he used to get really angry about it. I used to put a point across and say, well, if backtesting is going to make you the best trader in the world, why are people not walking, talking millionaires then? Because everybody backtests. Why is the statistics? Why is the fail rate so high? Why is the prop firm fail rate so high? We've seen the stats before. Why are so little people getting paid out? Surely these people aren't stupid. I mean, I'm sure everyone is hardworking enough to test their strategy, test it. But when shit hits the fan and it gets real, and they start trading a lot of money now, and now they've not used to seeing this money. One trade now could mean 5K, 10K, 20K. How are they going to emotionally manage that? And then, worst case scenario, they make that money the wrong way. Try telling that person they've made 20K the wrong way.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Kyle and everybody else watching, they scale up their lifestyle. So they made 30K, let's say. They've bought 3 FTMO challenges, they fluke past it, bam, 30K profit made. What are people who've got no financial literacy going to do? They're going to spend some of that money. They're going to upgrade their lifestyle where they've got now more payments to upkeep. They then blow that account. Yeah. Now they're fucked. They're in debt.
Yeah, you're fucked. 100%.
And that's what's happened to Josh on a larger scale.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Now that the God's shown the light on him and his character, it's more than obvious to me that he isn't someone who started this as a passion project. But
oh God, no.
You know, for example, a lot of people are going, "Come on, guys! They just rug pulled us out of the goodness of their heart. He did it because he loves us all."
Oh God, no.
I know it really does sadden me and hurt me that people are defending him. But it's one of them. I'm more than happy to move on with the community. I've got what I needed from Josh, and now I no longer need Guerrilla Trading. Thank God, right? Thank God. I got what I needed. But
you saved a lot of money.
The issue is, a lot of people paid Josh, and they didn't get what they paid for, and that for that reason, I feel the type of way about that. And just because it didn't personally screw me, it doesn't mean that there isn't still loads of people who have been massively affected by this guy's recklessness. Yeah. And again, like you say, people on that team are still trying to defend him and still trying to, try and sweep his con under the rug. Birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. If people are still trying to defend and advocate this guy's actions, by all means, do not trust these people.
Honestly, you can't. And you know what it is, Carl? I've learned this through working with so many people now over the years and coaching them, that you'll be surprised how people have a very poor judgment skill and they're very poor decision makers, and it's not their fault because they're not being informed and taught of people who. And this goes in entrepreneur, in business, in trading, etc. Now, if you want to learn off someone, you got to make sure that they've got experience, and you can't rely on just words. You can't rely on even actions. So what can you rely on then? Consistency, longevity. You know, if they've not been trading long enough, I mean, look, you can trade for 10 years and still be a bag of shit. You can't trade. You can't make money.
Yeah, like Josh said, he was trading from 2009 and didn't join Falcon until 2018.
Yeah.
So obviously, if he had to join a trading community, he obviously wasn't doing that well.
Exactly. Good point.
Since 2009. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So that consistency is important because, you know, I wouldn't come on here if I knew I was someone in my heart genuinely who had traded 4 or 5 different systems over the years. I'd really hadn't stayed consistent with one thing. I wouldn't have the face to come on here. But like I said before, I can say it from experience, having traded one method. You know, it's like Bruce Lee saying, fade the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times, not 10,000 kicks. You know, and the issue is this, that, you know, if your mentor's just teaching you trading, they're doing you a massive disservice. You shouldn't just be taught trading. You should be taught financial structure. What are you going to do with that money? Where can you invest it and why? Have they got assets to their name, and have they got business experience? Because, like you said, how you do everything is how you do one thing is how you do everything else. If I'm just teaching you how to just read a chart and make some money and backtest, what am I actually giving you as a mentor? Nothing. I'm not giving you any valuable life skills. People need to look at the values that the mentors have got. How do they treat people around them? Do they treat people like humans, or do they treat people like numbers in a spreadsheet? You have to look at the individual, because you're only going to be a reflection of that individual. And we're not institutional level traders. We're retail investors at the end of the day. You can be trading 10 million or a million or £1. The point is, we're in our offices at home, right? We're trading our own money. We're in a people's game. We're in a trading community. We have to learn how to work with people and read people. It's very important. If you can't read people, how are you going to read the market? You know, so
definitely.
That's my point on that. Case closed.
Yeah, case closed. It definitely, I mean, we've got the proof and receipts. Ibrahim's thankfully come through and supplied us with the podcast with Josh at Falcon, as well as Josh signing off to liquidate his company in March 2024. And we, as a student, I know that his email marketing did not cease after he liquidated his company, but it got worse than ever. His email marketing went through the roof. And yeah, I don't know who was on his marketing team, but these 8,000% promises, even though they worded it and said, look, you know, they didn't say it's live trading results. People are like, yeah, but I knew that he didn't mean live trading results. Yeah, because you've got experience trading. Most people without experience trading are going to read that and not assume that that's backtesting results, and automatically assume someone's got that on an FTMO account, or, you know, some kind of prop firm account. Naturally so.
Very, very sad. Very sad. And for context, that podcast, we actually we unlisted it because we didn't want to get involved in all the drama. We didn't want any of the hate, none of that crap. We just wanted to get rid of it. So we unlisted it. I had to do a lot of digging to find it. We found it on an old SoundCloud account that was unlisted and it was private. So you can see all of that in there. You can share the link in the description.
If you don't mind, I'd love to. Let
the world see. And I hope this video gets the exposure and it gets the views and hits the right people. Thank
definitely. Yeah, thank you, Ibrahim. I really appreciate your time today. And yeah, I mean, additionally, well, the one more thing I want to add is, if Josh Bunker ever comes back around, starts giraffe trading and selling his bunga ball strategy, making 1,000,000% every year, I really want to make sure that we're all there to make sure no one buys off this crook ever again.
Mate, I wouldn't be surprised he runs out of the country, seriously.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't blame him.
Honestly. Well, I appreciate your time, Carl.
I appreciate your time, Ibrahim. Thank you very much, bro.
Wicked.
Right, guys, so first of all, I want to thank Ibby for agreeing to come on the channel. Really means a lot, because I understand that a lot of people in the guerrilla trading community who have been affected by this are struggling to understand the severity of the situation, what's really happened. So I just thought I'd quickly come in here and break it down. So I thought that everything began right in 2020. Josh Bunker starts guerrilla trading, right? So guerrilla trading starts in 2020, but thankfully now, thanks to Ibrahim, I know that this actually isn't the case. Guerrilla trading didn't start in 2020 after Josh figured out on his own accord, as per my education, me being told that Josh had vigorously studied the markets until he came across the bunker bomb and the bunker bullet. What we actually now know is that it starts a little bit before that, in 2018, when Josh actually learnt his trading strategy through Falcon. So we know that it actually didn't start in 2020. It actually starts in 2018 with Josh joining FalconFX, learning how to finally trade profitably. And then what was happening after Josh finding out the Falcon strategy, what he did was in 2019, he started getting the students from Falcon to join JB Trading, and completely flips the script on what we heard in his podcast, where he said Falcon changed his life. The only reason he knows how to trade profitably is because of Falcon. Completely flips the script, saying Falcon are a bunch of bad words, and all of a sudden, you know, no credit to Falcon anymore. Cuts ties with them, gets rid of all his ties with Falcon. And now, Josh didn't learn from Falcon, he didn't learn from Mark, he has no mentors. In 2020, when he starts GT, I'm taught in the education, which I know because I joined in 2022. I know in 2022, when I joined, I go through all the education, and Joshua Bunker is never anywhere in the education accrediting anyone for his success, and it was all due to his own accord of figuring everything out. So I joined, I go through all the Guerrilla Trading education. I think that Joshua Bunker is the trading mastermind, and he's the only one who's managed to figure out how to make this random machine profitable, right? And now I'm finding out that none of this actually was the case, because in 2024 they filed for liquidation. So they filed for liquidation in 2024, and then 2025 comes around, and boom, no more Guerrilla Trading. Everything goes black, everything goes dark. They don't exist anymore. They never existed. Their social medias are gone overnight, and now it's just everyone's left thinking, what the hell happened to Guerrilla Trading? Where's it all gone? And now, thankfully, we know that from the get-go, Josh didn't start it as a passion project to help people. He started it to actually steal Falcon students for his own personal gain. So that is the breakdown of the gist of the Guerrilla Trading situation. So I hope this can shine a bit of light on a very dark situation for most. And all I'm hoping with this video, you know, is to just, if you are one of the people affected by his lack of accountability and lack of responsibility for his students, then just know that there are caring people out there. Zentum Trading and FalconFX, actual real education, trading education companies, and it's not everyone in this space who's out to get you. So I really feel for those who this is your first experience in the trading world. It really makes me feel sick that they've done this to you, but please know that there's more to trading than these characters. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sorry it wasn't a brighter topic, but again, thank you Ibrahim for coming on the channel and helping shed some light on this situation. Peace, love and prosperity.
That's a wrap.